So we're recording now. Yeah, so as I mentioned in the announcement, I don't think this is going to take the whole time. I'm just going to kind of go over uh, what the tidyverse is, kind of how it's useful to us here, and then just go over some examples with some economic index data. Pretty fun, pretty fun. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, so here, Tidyverse is another sort of package like we've been talking about. We've been talking about packages with the ggplot thing. And a reminder, packages are sort of, because R is open source, we can sort of bring in code that and functions that other people write and other people make for particular things. And they get pretty niche. Like you can get them for particular types of models if you're trying to run particular types of models. There are packages for like porting in stock market data. There's some for, porting in, you can get all the polling data. 538 has one where you can bring in all the polling data you want in the world. It's pretty cool. So, but yeah, so Tidyverse is one of these, like some of them are more popular, more fleshed out than others, and Tidyverse is probably the most fleshed out one. Actually, fun fact, the creator of the Tidyverse, which is a staple in political science and other sort of basically, if you use R, you've probably used Tidyverse before, and the creator graduated from Iowa State University. Go Cyclones! So yeah, that's pretty cool. I was bragging to all my USC friends over the summer about that because best university on the planet. Um, so I'm gonna, I read in this data. This is in the folder. If you look on the canvas, which we can look on the canvas, it's in here. There's a module I'm sure you've seen with a crap ton of data sets. I don't know if we're actually going to use all of them. I just put them all in because they're there. Um, and I can add to them if we need to add some. But we're going to be using the Economic Freedom Index 2019 data. I don't remember what this is from, but it doesn't really matter that much because this isn't really a substantive thing. I don't know if you can hear in the background. There's some crap going on in the bathroom. Like the custodians are doing something loud. I don't know if you can hear it, but just be warned that that's what that is. So remember when we do read.csv, we're doing a file path thing here. I already did that here, but just a reminder for that. So read that in, and typically when we read in a data set, we're going to want to use the head function, which is a really good way to just sort of get the top line sort of like first couple of values of each variable and kind of see what variables we have. We can also do str, which is structure, data, and that gives us a different kind of sort of sideways looking overview. This is all kind of doing the similar thing. Yeah, let's see. Oh man, these are all character variables. Why is that? I might need to change that. Hold on. Hold on. And column data 34. Sorry, hold on. I should have maybe vetted this data set a little bit more before I did this. Oh. No. Okay, hold on. We actually might use a different data set. I'm sorry. This one's. NAs here. Frick. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we're gonna use a different data set. My bad. I don't know. I don't want to fix that right now. So, what was it? Life. What was it called? HDI Life. We probably want that one. Yeah. So yeah. So now we can do it again, right? So we overwrote this, right? By just changing the file path. I guess that's a nice learning moment. I'm going to pretend like I intended that to be a learning moment. So now if we look at the data, we have sort of country year with years on as the columns, which is fine. So when we're using the tidyverse, we have some tools that allow us to change the data or pipe through different, like chain together a bunch of commands in a really useful way using what we call a pipe operator, and that's the percentage sign greater than sign percentage sign. So when we use that and we hit enter, right, kind of moves to a different line, and we can use a bunch of the different things that are in the tidyverse. So I'm going to just sort of show them off here. So let's see. So let's say we just want the rank, the country, and then the years are formatted weirdly, but we just want for 2018. We just want the data for 2018. So by using the select function within the tidyverse, we can just list off variables, right? And select the ones we want, right? So now we just have, well, and then so then if we can assign this whole block to a new variable or to a new object and call it data 2018. And then if we look at the structure of data 2018, it's just the three variables that we picked out, right? And so it's really common when we do this and when we manipulate the data using these tidyverse functions that we assign it to a new data set with a similar name but with like a variation, because it's probably just a slight variation on it. Now we can do another thing, right? We can just keep adding on things. And I think the best way to think about this piping function is to think of it as the words and then. So we're going to take the data set data, or the object data, which is a data set, and then we're going to select the variables we want, and then we do something else, right? Does that kind of make sense to everyone? Okay. So now let's say we want to add a filter, and that's one of the other kind of big ones. So we want X 2018 to be greater than 50. And so that's now data 2018. Are they all bigger than 50? Okay, that was a bad number to pick. Let's try 71 instead. Yeah, so now we just have 38 observations, right? So it's much like how we were indexing before. Now we're just looking at the ones that had 70 plus in 2018, right? Yeah. Yeah, select, filter, and then mutate is how we can make a new variable. Oh, how am I going to do this? Let's add another year. Let's add 2017, right? And we can do that really easily by just changing the select function thing, right? All right. And then we're going to, well, first we got to run that before we do anything. Then we go ahead and mutate. So we can make, let's say we want to predict what the one for 2019 is going to be, right? So within the, so mutate is really how we either like change how a variable is, like we can like mutate it, or we can, it's more commonly used to just make new variables that are sort of combinations of other variables. So we can take, let's see, the mean of x 2017 plus x 2018. I think that'll work. Yeah. So it's sort of a prediction by taking the mean of the, oh wait, no. No, that's not what I, why didn't it take the mean? Well, we can also just do this. X 2018. Take that, divided by 2. Yeah. And so that sort of acts as like a prediction, maybe. I don't know, it's a really bad prediction, but I'm just kind of coming up with examples. So we added this new column, right, in the data set by using mutate. Does that make sense? Okay. And then the last one that's really useful is arrange. And I should note that if you Google tidyverse and look up the documentation, right, packages within tidyverse, and so these are all within the dplyr part. So I guess I should explain this maybe more thoroughly. So the tidyverse is sort of an amalgamation of a bunch of different packages, including ggplot, which we used in the last exercise, and dplyr is sort of the grammar for data manipulation, right? Like kind of what we're doing over here, right? We're selecting variables, we're filtering values, you know, sort of adding criteria, making new variables by manipulating existing variables, and we can arrange things. And there are other things that are, you know, we'll get to maybe, but so we want to go to dplyr, and so yeah, so you've got the documentation for these things here at this website. Maybe I'll send this out as a link, but again, Googling documentation, super important. Something we're always going to do. So so in the arrange function, we can just put in variables that we want to, say we want to take this 2018, or I guess it's not really 2018 anymore. Let's just call it, so let's, you know, give it a more meaningful name. Oh, well, okay, that didn't do anything. So within this arrange sort of piece, we can just put a variable. Let's say we want to order it by our new 2019 variable. So we can just put in the 2019 thing, and it's going to put it in order from highest to lowest. Right, that's what I did. No? Did I do that? Oh, it's because it's not, because that's data 2018. We changed the name. So we can view data new. Yeah, and it's in order from lowest to highest. And I think you can add a decreasing argument to this. Or you can, yeah, so if you use decrease, I think it's just that. No. No. It's another situation where I'm going to Google it. What the heck? Well, how about this? How about we go to the, oh, where was it? The arrange documentation and figure it out. Yeah, DSC is what it is. Okay. Wait, no. DESC. Yeah. Grab that. And then we can see it in from highest to lowest. So yeah, those are kind of the big things for this sort of, but the sort of important thing, and I think it's going to just take practice, is sort of, you know, getting the sense of a data set, looking at this, you know, and given instructions or, you know, sort of what you want to get out of the data, being able to use these sort of main uh, sort of verbs is probably the best way to think about them, tools to manipulate it. Do that. Does anyone have any questions about the syntax or anything with the pipe operator syntax? What any of these in particular do? Any questions at all? All good. Okay. Yeah, so this is like I said, kind of the staple. People use this package a lot because it's a lot easier than base R to do this stuff. And so and it's important to note that these things are going to run in the order that they sort of appear in the like so it's going to take data and then select the variables and then filter and then, you know, so if you change the order and say you filtered first, right? So let's do that, cut and paste that down. It's going to be different, right? Because it's going to take, first it's going to take the ones that have 2018 over 71, and then it's going to select the variables. So we could get different values, right? Okay, it seems as though we just didn't. That's fine. I'm sure if you had a different criteria, it would be different. But wait, no, because, or if you did this first and had it for like 2016, right? It's going to be different. Or it's not. Why? Oh. Yeah, so see, because I changed the order and used the values for 2016, something that wasn't in the sort of like step for filter last time, we get a different number of observations, right? And so what order you're doing in will make more sense in the context. I'm just sort of going over the syntax. But yeah, so is this making sense to everyone? And if so, and if there are no questions, like I said, this isn't going to take long. I think this part is sort of best learned by doing and sort of piping stuff together. So I'm going to make up a thing tonight for a worksheet that will hopefully be on a really easy data set to use. Put that out tonight. It'll be due, I don't know, next class. I think just sort of doing this part will be enough for now. Last call for questions. Otherwise, I think we're gonna, like I said in the announcement, end this early.
I guess I have a quick question. I'm just like typing in some of the commands. It's prompting me after I do the percent the piping for like another command at the end. It's like it's not acting like it's a complete string.
Sure. Do you wanna share your screen and maybe I can see what error you're running into?
Sure.
Probably be useful for other people.
I'll share. Thankfully, I have a second screen to share. Okay, so
Yeah, so
right down at the bottom, you can see.
yeah, so if you end something with a pipe, you know,
Yeah.
it's wanting something else to be there. So when you end a sort of string of using these dplyr tidyverse commands, you don't need to end it with a pipe operator because you're
Okay.
saying and then you don't have anything further. So on line 6, just delete the percentage sign, greater sign, percentage sign.
And then I'll let it know.
You'll probably need to just like, because it's,
Yeah, I'll do
yeah, it's
this.
wanting something else, and you're going to error out. So you just get rid of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I see what the issue was.
okay. Sweet. So does that make sense to everyone why you're not to have like a pipe wrapper? Because it's like starting, it's like writing a paragraph and then ending, and then dot, dot, dot. You're just kind of leaving R hanging. And it's like, what else? It wants something else there. So, yeah. Any other questions? That was quick, but I think that's enough for now. I think sort of working with data frames is going to be beneficial sort of in practice. And then, sort of next week we'll do sort of getting more advanced with this stuff, and I'll work through something like we did last time. I think that worked out last time really well. So, yeah, I'm just kind of making this up as I go, if I'm being honest with you. But I think this is working okay. I hope it's working okay for you guys. So, yeah.
Yeah,
There
I
are
mean,
no other
most of the stuff
questions.
is like a
Oh,
lot
sorry.
self-taught. I was gonna say a lot of the stuff is like self-taught. Like you have to learn how to Google stuff and learn the syntax. So yeah,
Definitely, definitely, yes. Learning how to learn is the big thing, and sort of, yeah. Um, and I feel like when I do this stuff, all I do is provide English sort of translations of what's going on. You know what I mean? Because I know that that was really hard for me when I was first learning, was sort of interpreting what's going on, because I sort of get caught up and it's like, oh, it's code and it's super scary and like I don't know what's going on, but sort of getting that English translation is really helpful. So, yeah. If there are no other questions, um, yeah, I'm gonna end this now. I know that was really quick, but I think I got the things across. I'll get I'll get the worksheet out tonight. So, yeah, sweet. Thanks everyone.
Thanks.
Zach.
Thank you.